Greetings and welcome to my video. I'm Peter Updike, and tonight we're going to talk about putting the odds in your favor. How do you put the odds more in your favor when it comes to deer hunting? You're never going to have all of the odds in your favor. The deer has the upper hand. The deer will always have the upper hand. But there are things that we can do to help put the odds more in our favor. If I told you that hunting public land, let's just say Green Swamp, you're going to go down to the Green Swamp and you're going to go hunting. If I told you that your chances of killing a deer on one hunt in the Green Swamp was about 3%, you may not go. 3% is pretty low. But there's a way to add to that. There's a way to go from 3% to 6%. And then to go from 6% to 12%. And so on. What if you could boost your chances to 25%? I think you could probably do it, but it takes an investment. It takes a commitment from the hunter to invest himself into finding ways to do it. Number one, first and foremost, nothing beats time in a stand. And as a YouTube commentator said on my page, he said, nothing beats boots on the ground. And he's right. Boots on the ground and time in the stand are the number one things. If all I did was to take a dart and throw it at a map, and wherever it hit, that's where I was going to hunt, that'd be better than anything else, right? If I'm going to Gothi tomorrow, and I've never been there before, I'm going on an archery hunt, and I've never been there before, there's really no point in trying to cover the whole area. I'm just going to pick out a block of woods, and I'm going to put boots on the ground, I'm going to put it in my tree stand, I'm going to sit and I'm going to hunt. I'm going to hunt for 4 hours. And then I'm going to get down and I'm going to expand my search for sign. Okay? That's the way you do it. Nothing beats that. That's number one. But I have some others here listed. And real quickly we'll go through them. Alright? Stand location. I invest myself in every stand location that I have. I've got them marked on my GPS. I've got them marked on my GPS for the Green Swamp. I got them marked on my GPS for Rich Loam. I have turkey locations marked on my GPS. I can go to Rock Springs tomorrow and put it in my GPS, and I can find a tree that I was on 3 years ago. That's huge, okay? You need to keep a log, maybe even a ledger, maybe even some notes of where these places are. This will help you, okay? Stand location and good scouting, all right? I always pick, what I've done when I'm going to Gothis, I just picked a small block of woods. I know where I'm going. I've been to the aerial photos, and I've looked at it, and I said, okay, that's where I'm going to go, and I'm going to expand my search for sign from there. First thing I'm going to do when I get there is I'm going to take my tree stand, I'm going to put it in a tree, and I'm going to sit there for 4 or 5 hours. And then I'm going to search in the middle of the day beyond for my muzzleloader hunt, okay? And I've got my other stand, and I'm going to put it up and strap it to the tree and lock it up and mark it on my GPS and then go hunt it on the muzzleloader hunt. So that's all stand location, okay? Learning as you go, all right, and saving that information and using it later. All right, number two, hunting the same woods regardless of the management area. I hunt the same block, okay? I went to Potts the other day. Every time I go to Potts, I hunt the same spot over and over and over again. When I say the same spot, I'm talking about maybe 150 acres. It's a 4,000 acre patch of ground. But I never go past the spot where I park. If there's nobody there, I pull in and I get my buggy and I go. Okay? I hunt the same spot over and over and over again. Same with Jumper Creek. I become familiar with my spots in Jumper Creek. I turkey hunt the same spots in Jumper Creek all the time. Why? Because I've become familiar with it. Okay? I know how to get in. I know how to get out when it's dark. I'm familiar. I know where I am at all times. Okay? So I hunt the same woods in Ocala. I've got a block of woods in Ocala that I hunt all the time. And I know where I am. I know where other people hunt. I know where their stands are. I know how to avoid them. It's huge. Driving around looking for a spot really doesn't work. Just pick a spot and then expand from there. Okay? That'll help you. That'll help put the odds more in your favor. Okay? And if you're going to your stand, right, and you see a scrape that wasn't there last week, you'll know. Why? because you were there last week. You hunt the same spot over and over and over again, okay? And you become familiar with it. You know there's a rub right there that wasn't there. Where'd that come from, right? Okay. Diversify your hunting style. For some reason, I think I've got to be in my tree stand all the time. Well, I've learned that there are spots where I can get on high ground, and I can sit in a lawn chair, and I can watch a wood line, and I can watch it till dark, and it's more simplistic. All I got to do is just go put the chair out there and sit. I've educated myself. I know what's behind the timber. I know if someone can get back in there or not. I know where the trails come out. I'm familiar with that area, but instead of sitting in a tree stand, I'm just sitting in a chair. I'm up high and I got my binoculars and I can watch. Man, that's a lot of fun. I love doing that, just sitting and watching. And then long paths through the woods, you got to be really careful sitting and watching those areas, but I love to sit and watch they call them senderos out west, but just a long open area that you can sit and watch and wait for deer to cross, okay? And I don't know, spot and stalk. I did a little walking. I knew there was nobody back there on Thursday, and I did a lot of walking on Thursday at Potts, and it's just another way just to get out in the woods and to find new areas, you know. So you need to diversify your hunting. Don't be married to hunting in one ladder stand or one tree. Learn to expand your horizons, okay? All right, so with deer hunting, we always have the time of year. We've got the archery season, the muzzleloader season, and the modern gun season. And we also have pre-rut, we have rut, and then we have post-rut, okay? Time of year can increase your chances of killing a deer. You don't want to burn yourself out early in the season. You want to know when the rut is in the area which you're hunting. What's the rut? That's when bucks are chasing does, okay? When bucks are chasing does, you're going to want to be in the woods, all right? You're going to need to invest yourself in that area. This comes back to hunting the same woods. You're going to need to know when that occurs, you know, in your neck of the woods, okay? So time of year is everything, all right? I want to be in the woods during the rut, all right? Become familiar with the food sources that the deer in your area eat. You can break food sources down into 3 categories. One would be hard mass. Those are acorns, nuts, things of that nature. Soft mass, persimmons, wild grapes, mushrooms, flowers, things of that nature. And then just browse. The interesting thing about deer is that they have a 3-chambered stomach. A buck can get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and he can browse for 3 hours and then bed down. He's got a belly full of food. It's now 5 o'clock in the morning. Now what he's going to do while he's seated there, laying there, resting, is he's going to do what cows do. He's going to do what's called chew the cud. He's going to regurgitate the food that he has browsed, and he's going to re-chew it and swallow it. This can take hours, okay, before he decides to get up and feed again. All right? Know the animal that you're hunting. Just because you didn't see any deer doesn't mean there's not any deer there or that you weren't close to them. Something that I like to think all the time, if I hear a hoot owl or a crow, I like to think that the deer I'm after can hear that crow. That's how close he is to me. He's just bedded down, chewing his cud. It's hard to get around that, but that's what they do. All right, so number 6 would be weather patterns. We need to watch weather patterns. Everybody loves a cold front, but I've killed my fair share in 85-degree weather. I don't like to hunt when it's 90 degrees. I understand that. It's hot. I avoid hot days, but you can kill a deer on a hot day. When archery season comes in, everybody's ready to go hunting. Everybody wants to get out in the woods, and by 8 o'clock in the morning, it's already 88 degrees, and it's going to be 95, right? It's hard to hunt in those kind of circumstances. I like to hunt after a thunderstorm. If a thunderstorm comes in late in the afternoon and it passes, and I wouldn't sit in a tree stand during a thunderstorm. But if it passes and everything's quiet and everything's calm and the temperature's cooled down because of the rain, hey man, get in your stand. That's a good time, right? And the deer are going to get up and they're going to be walking around in the cool of the day, late in the evening, okay, after a thunderstorm. And of course, cold fronts. Cold fronts come through. Everybody loves to hunt after a cold front. Clear bluebird skies, cold, crisp weather. Get in the woods when those things happen, okay? That'll put the odds more in your favor. All right, hunting pressure. We're going to talk about other hunters. You need to avoid other hunters at all costs just for safety's sake. Also, you don't want to ruin somebody's hunt. You don't want to ruin my hunt, and I don't want to ruin your hunt. Learn the area where you're hunting. Learn where other hunters hunt, and invest yourself in what your neighbor's doing. Okay, and try and use it to your advantage. Many times, hunters come in the morning and they hunt, and then at 9 o'clock they're gone home. Okay, deer hear vehicles leave. They know when the hunting pressure is off. I'm gonna tell you what. Ocala National Forest, I see as many deer. I've not killed a deer in the middle of the day, but I see deer between the hours of 2 and 4 in the Ocala National Forest. That's the truth. Same with Jumper Creek. I see deer in the middle of the day at Jumper Creek. Hunting pressure. Use it to your advantage. Know what your hunting buddies are doing. All right, so scrutinize your time in the woods. Okay, if I spend an hour driving to a management area and an hour getting home, that's 2 hours of my day. I need to invest at least 4 hours in the stand, or at least in the woods, hunting to make it worthwhile, or else you're just driving. Okay? Scrutinize your time. Don't waste it. Use it wisely. And when you're done, pack up and go home. Don't lollygag, because that just eats up into your future hunting time. Right? Do what you want, but I usually, when I get out of my stand, I'll have a snack and then I'll go home. Alright, and the next thing you can do is use attractants. They work, okay? Mock scrapes work. Rattling horns work. Grunt tubes work, okay? If you use these things, it will work in your advantage. I won't make a mock scrape unless I know I can hunt it days in a row, okay? Put an attractant in it and then freshen it up every time I visit. A buck will walk by it, he'll smell it, and he'll say, "Hey, somebody's moved into my area. Who's in there?" You know, and he'll come back. And deer love to come to a scrape, okay? So learn how to make a mock scrape. And attractants, same thing. You know, you can just put a little bit of dough and heat out. The problem with it is it does attract black bears. Black bears are curious. They'll smell it, and they'll come in there to it. So be advised, okay? Don't be afraid of the black bears. Black bears won't bother you, okay? But I don't go to my stand in the dark because of the black bears. All right, and number 10, the best thing that you can do outside of spending time in your stand is becoming a student of habitat and wildlife. I want to know the animal that I'm hunting. I want to become a student of the area in which he lives. I want to know where he moves. I want to know what time he gets up. I want to know when he's feeding. I want to go into an area and say, there were no tracks here, but now look at it. Wow, man, something's going on. And you can know that deer activity has spiked. And you know that something's up, okay? This will be a signal to you to hunt. You want to know the food sources that are in your area? I got blackjack oaks, man. I love them blackjack oaks. I also got grapevines. I don't have any persimmons. I very rarely find any persimmons. Sometimes you'll find a persimmon tree on the edge of a cabbage palm swamp, but I've seen one in my whole career, and I didn't see any deer on it. So that's it, okay? Let's just go over these real quick. Nothing replaces time in the stand. Spend as much time in the stand as you can, and find the best locations that suit you, and these will put odds in your favor. And the wind, okay? When your stand location, you need to be mindful of the wind. You have no idea how many deer smell you, and when they smell you, they turn and go the other way. I remember I was turkey hunting in Georgia, and I had walked up a trail, and I was hidden in some cover, calling to some turkeys, and I saw a doe and a yearling come out. And as soon as that doe and yearling got to that spot where I had walked, they stopped dead in their tracks. They had no idea I was there, but boy, they sure smelled where I'd walked, because the wind was in my favor. But they still smelled me. They smelled right where I walked. So if you're walking to your stand and a deer comes by, he's going to smell you. You need to wear rubber boots. You need to take the time to control your scent control, okay? And always hunt the wind. Try your best to hunt the wind. Sometimes it's impossible, but deer will smell you like a bloodhound, man. And that's the truth. And hunt in the same woods. Again, I love to hunt close to home. All right? Diversity in hunting style, and you get tired of sitting in your tree stand, sit in a chair. Find a spot where it'll work, okay? Sit on a prairie. Get your binoculars out. Do some glassing. Do some bird watching. You might kill a big old buck doing that. Pay attention to the time of year. Pay attention to the food sources. Pay attention to weather patterns. Pay attention to your other hunters and their hunting pressures. and scrutinize your time. Use it wisely. The use of attractants, give them a try, and become a student of habitat and wildlife. I believe that if you do these things, it will help you be successful. It will help you be successful, and it will help you to grow as a hunter and kill you a fine buck that you'll be proud of and you'll want to show everyone. So again, I'm going tomorrow. You'll see here I've got all my gear here in the truck. Now if you leave a tree stand in the truck or your ice chest or cooler, you're going to want to lock it up. I've got a cable here. I run my cable through my buggy and my tree stands and I lock it up. So when I'm away from my truck, I don't have to worry about somebody stealing it. Somebody could probably cut that if they wanted to. It's a pretty heavy cable. It's a stainless steel cable. I tried cutting it with a pair of cutters, and it's not easy to cut. It would take a while to cut through that. But, and I know what I'm talking about because I own a welding shop. But get a cable, get a lock your stuff up, and no one will steal it, and that'll make your time more pleasurable. I take steps to protect my stuff, and you should too. All right, that's it. That's my tips for this hunting season. Be safe, enjoy your time afield, and I hope I don't see you. You stay on your side and I'll stay on mine, and we'll all get home safe. Love you guys. See you. Bye.